We're now joined by our Chris Mortensen. And Mort, again, the contract figures are what they are. What can you tell us about the contract Brett Favre is expected to sign later today with the Vikings?
Well, it's going to go down on paper as a 2-year contract, but for practical purposes, it's really 1 year, between 10 and $12 million. I'm told it's a simple contract. And oh, by the way, this contract has basically been done for 2 months. It's just everybody's been waiting on for Brett to say, I'm ready, let's go. And so really the contract's a simple contract. It'll be 2 years. He does have to pass the physical. The Vikings did send their private jet for him. It left Mississippi at 9 a.m. Central Time. Is going to land, I'm told, at 11 a.m. Central Time in Minneapolis, and he'll take his physical and sign that contract.
So it would be currently in the air still. Mort, just a bit ago, Adam Schefter said that he spoke to Favre's agent, Bus Cook, on Sunday night, and that Bus said to him that he could easily see Brett Favre staying retired down there in Hattiesburg. Again, this as of Sunday night. If it's fair to say, then, that Bus Cook knows his client as well as anyone. What does this suggest about Brett Favre's state of mind?
Well, nothing. It's like I said yesterday. You know, any player can say anything they want about what they think they know what Brett's going to do, including family members. But even Brett himself doesn't know what he's going to do, I think, until the moment. And once the Vikings sent that plane and he got on it, well, that was the moment you knew he was going to do this thing. That's the way it is with Brett. It's never changed. You know, at the same time, I'll say this. When I visited the Vikings camp, and I think it was the 5th team I visited, and I think we're on team 18 right now, so almost 2 weeks ago, a Vikings player told me, he goes, you know, Brett basically, what I got from him was he would be here if he didn't have to come to training camp, that he didn't want to live in the dorms. He already knows the offense. And guess what? The Vikings broke camp last week on August 13th. So you put those dots together and you can, maybe it makes even more sense.
All right, Mort, you know that locker room as well as anyone. How will then Favre's decision to have essentially skip camp and still come on in affect things?
Well, it is a veteran locker room. I mean, I guess, you know, Sage Rosenfels is probably going to be most affected because he played well the other night. Did tweak his ankle a little bit, and maybe that scared them because I think they've lost their confidence in Tavares Jackson. And they're sitting there saying, boy, if Sage gets hurt, we're really sunk, you know, because we've got a Super Bowl playoff potential team here. So clearly, when you got the kind of weapons they do and you're worried about Tavares Jackson, Sage is probably going to be the one most affected. It's a veteran team, though. So I think for the most part, they'll get over it. And Brad Childress is the head coach, and I don't think he's going to accept anybody doing anything but embracing Brett there.
Now, Mort, of course, we're watching video of Favre working out the off-season shoulder surgery in part in an effort to return as a Minnesota Viking. What sort of football decision is this?
Well, you know, all along, Brett has said the Vikings are the only team, and they really were the only team for him last year because he believes it's identical offense. His offense. His old quarterback coach from Green Bay, Darrell Bevel, is the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator there with the Vikings. So in fact, I know he's told people, I can go in and coach this offense. So I think that's why he felt comfortable enough to delay this. The big question was, since Childress said the door was closed a couple of weeks ago, was it really closed? Well, we speculated at that point that this thing will never be over until the season's over. And guess what? Brett Favre is going to be a Viking as long as he passes that physical today.
Now, Mort, you said that, well, you're pointing out nobody knows. Brett Favre might not even know what he will do until the very moment that he makes the decision. There is a decided school of thought, however, that would have Favre something of a Shakespearean figure returning to a hyper-violent game simply to beat his old team, the Green Bay Packers, twice. What do you make of that now?
Well, you know, I think that last year he stated emphatically that was one of his motivations, that he wanted to go to the Vikings because he was so angry with the Packers. Now, he has since said that dropped way down the list. That was no longer his motivation. That his primary motivation was to go to a team that could win a Super Bowl in an offense that he knows. And the Vikings went to the playoffs last year, and it is a team that we identify as a Super Bowl contender going into this season, even with Sage Rosenfels. So that was the criteria. And as far as wanting to beat the Packers, I have no doubt that he wants to beat the Packers. But let's say this. I think Michael Vick and Brett Favre in the same week, it's been a pretty interesting news week, and it's going to be a pretty interesting season.